lose this one. The Cincinnati Reds, after winning 7 in a row, they now drop 2 in a row. Welcome into Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Curado Insurance. Ashlyn Sullivan, Ricky Bowe here with you. Another sloppy performance for the Phillies, but especially the bullpen, Ricky, definitely concerning.
Yeah, the bullpen was awful. I mean, in this game, you can't really sugarcoat something like that because it's right in front of you. The game was right in front of them late in the ball game. Dominguez, number one, he just has not looked sharp in a long, long period of time. And I'm talking, I'll go this whole year plus some of last year. I thought he started losing a little bit of an edge. I mean, this is a guy that needs to grow some confidence. If he's going to continue to go out there and give up runs, I mean, I don't know what use or where you're going to start pitching him. But he definitely can't be a setup type guy right now. I think you actually have to move him forward, maybe even move him to the 5th, 6th inning type guy and see if that can't get him going in the right direction, because what he's throwing out there right now is not helping anybody.
Right, and as a whole, the Phillies didn't really do them any favors as well in this bullpen, where they had a chance to really extend their lead there in the 3rd inning and couldn't get it done, Ricky.
Of course. This is 2 nights in a row. They've had chances to extend leads, chances to put some runs up on the board, and it just seems as though they're missing some firepower. Mm-hmm. That's what it feels like to me. I understand that you're going up against a tough lefty, but I play Stott in this ball game. I'd have played Marsh in this ball game. And I know Marsh got the pinch hit and whatnot. Okay, fine. I'm talking about starting. I want to see these guys start against some lefties. I don't care how tough they are. I think these guys have got to prove what they could do and that they could be everyday players. And until Bryce comes back, I think this team doesn't necessarily fall apart without him. It just doesn't look the same without Bryce Harper in the lineup.
That is for sure, especially in this series. As we know, go back to Cincinnati and check in with Ruben Amaro Jr., who are standing by there in the broadcast booth. And Ruben, we just talked all about this bullpen. What are your thoughts on their performance today?
Well, they obviously did not throw the ball that well. I'm a little concerned, Ricky, just like you are with Sir Anthony. He just doesn't really look like he has very good feel for his pitches, and his command has not been very good. And you know, I'm kind of surprised that Thompson stayed with him that long, but I think he's trying to get him to gain some of that confidence, and unfortunately he just could not pull it off. And you know, there was a combination of things tonight. We not play very good defense. They did not get the timely hits. 4 for 16 with runners in scoring. 16 opportunities with runners in scoring position. They had a chance to really score 7, 8, 9, 10 runs tonight, and they just couldn't get it done when they needed to.
Yeah, they're missing the big hit. There's no doubt about that. Ruben, I got to ask you something. A couple years back, Alvarado had this same problem going on, if you remember. The Phillies sent him down to AAA, and they kind of righted the ship, and all of a sudden he's been pretty good ever since. Would you even consider that if you were a GM right now?
Oh, you're talking about Sir Anthony, I would assume. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I have to look back to see if he has any options left. Right now, he doesn't look super confident on the mound, and that concerns me. I know he's got a great arm, and when he's right, he's really very, very good. And I know I talked about it in the preseason about how important he was to this bullpen, and right now he's struggling a little bit, and you can almost see it on his face. He doesn't have the kind of confidence that he typically would have. I'd love to see him be able to pitch a little bit better, but again, I mean, is it a possibility that it would send him down? Sure. I mean, I think it's a possibility. If he has some options, they might consider it, but again, it takes everybody to contribute, and these guys haven't gotten a whole lot of chances to pitch because the rotation's been really throwing the ball extremely well and stretching things out. So I think you saw a lot of that happen tonight. Alvarado wasn't all that sharp. Strom misfired a few pitches as well. Hopefully that gets turned back around and they can play a much better game tomorrow. Great to have Zach Wheeler on the mound.
Yes, you hope so, Ruben. And we saw for the second day in a row that Brandon Marsh and Bryson Stott are not in this lineup. Has this kind of proven, we mentioned needing that big hit, that they need to be in there going forward?
I think that there's going to be a point when I think Stott's already there, but I think they wanted to get Merrifield and some other guys, Pache, some opportunities to swing the bat. Lodolo's a very tough left-hander, and I know that there's an opportunity in the middle of the game to pinch hit Marsh for Pache in one situation, but I think Rob Thompson wanted to keep that defense in there, and that was part of the decision making there. But I do think that at some point both Stott and Marsh will be everyday players, and they will be facing tough left-handers. But I think it's a process, and at some point I think you may see that happen.
And Stott doesn't have any injuries or anything, right, that we know of?
No, everybody else. Stott's fine. He's absolutely fine. I just think he's trying to get Merrifield some at-bats, and Merrifield had a good day today. A couple of base hits, and he stole a base. So, he's going to be a contributor on this ball club, and you're going to need all these guys down the road anyway.
Yes, you will. The Phillies looking to bounce back tomorrow, and Ruben, that is when we will talk to you and Phillies pregame live. Thanks for the time.
I think the reason, I'm going to go with the reason that I think they took him out. You look at those 89 pitches. Those are the strikes he threw right next to it, 49. So he did struggle a little bit with his command at times. You see the 3 walks in 5 innings. Not awful, but it's, you'd rather see 2 or 1 throughout 5 innings. But I think those 89 pitches, but my thought process here is, wait a minute, if he's not going to be in the starting rotation, let him go out there one more inning. Let him take a little bit less pressure off of everybody else in this game. He seemed to look like he was just kind of on cruise control. And whenever you get a starting pitcher that's on cruise control, that looks like he has no care in the world, you let him keep going. I would have let him probably go out there one more inning, gave him to about 105, 106 pitches. So I would have given him his 15 pitches.
And now you look at this weekend, Taijuan Walker coming back in, and you're wondering now when we're going to see Turnbull again, if this is his last outing in a while. What do you make of all of this?
Yeah, we'll see him in the bullpen most likely. I don't like it. As a matter of fact, I don't like it at all. You don't know what you're getting right now with Taijuan Walker. I understand you signed Taijuan Walker to X amount of years, and he's going to be one of those guys that has to pitch, okay? $18 million you're not going to throw into the bullpen and use them as a long guy out of the bullpen because they don't pitch enough. I think because Spencer, almost said Strider, Spencer Turnbull has been one of those guys who hasn't pitched a lot of innings in the last couple of years. That's why they're sending him to the bullpen. It's not even because of Taijuan Walker, but it's going to be It's going to be interesting to see what Taijuan Walker brings to the table when he gets here.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on him for sure, and we'll see how this all shakes out. Very interesting stuff going on with this pitching rotation. Now let's go back to Cincinnati and hear from manager Rob Thompson.
Turnbull at 89 pitches, did you feel like he had reached his limit there because he pushed it a little further?
No, he was going back out, but then they made 2 pitching changes in that inning. It was like 25 minutes he sat. So that's why we made the change. If he was at 50 pitches or, a reasonable amount of pitches, I still would have sent him out. But once you're up in that 90 range, I think it was a little bit long to wait.
What do you think of his start?
Not bad. I thought sprayed the ball a little bit early, and then he settled in. He drove his pitch count up a little bit pretty quick, and then I thought his last inning was actually his best inning. That was his best changeup. I thought his secondary pitches were getting better as the game went on.
What can you say about his 5 starts overall?
Fantastic. I mean, I couldn't expect anything more. I don't think. He's really throwing the ball well.
He said no decision has been made about his future. When is that decision going to get? Next couple days?
I would think so. Yeah, we're going to put our heads together here in the next couple of days and figure it out.
What's your level of concern with Sir Anthony Dominguez now?
Well, yeah, he's been kind of hot and cold, but I still always have confidence in him because he's got a great arm. He's 2 years off of surgery, and I think that this is probably going to be a big year for him. I had trouble finding the plate today. That was really it. But I still always have confidence in him because he does have a great arm.
To rephrase, what does he need to do to become the pitcher that you
throw
think he can be?
strikes?
Yeah.
And that's with all of them too. Our strike to ball ratio as a team, as a unit, wasn't as good as normal.
Turner caught stealing. Can you walk us through that play and
Yeah,
what should
so
have happened?
that's a design play.
That was designed.
Yeah, and what he needs to do is just wait till the ball leaves the catcher's hand. You just got to head start a little bit early.
Is this something where you guys scout that and say he always throws through there?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we know that typically they wouldn't, but it was such a good arm fake. I think he just thought that he was throwing through.
Okay.
Did I answer that?
No, I'm confused.
So
the scouting report says that he'll normally throw.
No.
No, he won't normally throw.
well, sometimes they throw, sometimes they don't.
Okay.
We didn't-
It was good.
But it was a really good arm fake.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got you.
Got it.
And then you had in the sixth inning there, you had Pache comes up with runners on the corners, and they just bring a righty in the game. Why didn't just hold it off on Mark? I know
Yeah,
he
I'm
ended
just
up using
holding
it.
on. 6 innings a little bit early for me.
Okay.
It really is. Then we went to him in the 7th. I didn't pinch hit for Sosa because it was a pretty even split on that pitcher, and he's had good at-bats all night. So.
What happened with that Stubbs strikeout, and then you went out there to talk with him?
Well, the Suter, he sets up early and waits for the hitter to as soon as the hitter looks, and he starts up. So, it was just kind of quick for him. And he's got a really quick wind-up. It's a quick short step, and then the ball's in the air, so it's on the hitter. So Stubby was just wanting more time, but I don't think Suter was doing anything illegal.
And I know the machinations and some of the reasoning behind it. But I mean, Turnbull's got a 1.33 ERA. 5 starts in the season, is one of the better ERAs in the National League. I mean, if you do choose to take him out of the rotation, how difficult is that to make that kind of move? And do you understand why maybe there's a little bit of confusion about that?
Sure. Sure, he's throwing the ball well. Yeah, but we got a 15-game winner coming. He threw the ball pretty well for us last year. For middle of summer, he was as good as anybody in baseball, or in the National League anyway. So we're hoping to get that guy back.
Looking at the starters for tomorrow, the Phillies looking to split this series with the Cincinnati Reds. You're going to see Zach Wheeler on the mound. Ricky, what's going to be the key with him?
Wheels goes out and deals. In all honesty, I mean, that's the way he comes out. I mean, you look at his ERA, he's at a 2.3 right now. He pitches plenty of innings. I think this is a team that he will find a challenge, but I think he's going to be up to the task. He's got great stuff. He's always going to be in those top pitchers of voting for Cy Young. So I have no worries when Zach Wheeler goes to the mound. It's just a matter if the offense could get clicking tomorrow. Offense gets going, I think the Phillies are in good shape.
Right, and I'm sure we're all thinking, especially the fans at home, you're going to want to see Zach Wheeler get some length there. So this bullpen, we don't see another performance like we did tonight. Yeah,
the bullpen was bad. Disappointing, bad. Sir Anthony's a real issue right now, I think, for the Phillies. Soto has been up and down here as of late. I think Alvarado will be okay once he finds himself some kind of groove. But you need everybody. I mean, in all honesty, you think about how this bullpen was built. It was built with 4 or 5 guys that could close out a game. Now I'm looking at maybe one guy that could, 2 guys maybe that could close out a game. The rest of the guys are starting to be question marks. And when that happens, you have to figure it out quickly. In the bullpen, you don't have months to figure it out. You have days. And Sir Anthony's had a long time to figure things out. And I don't know what they're telling him, but I just believe go after people. Show some adrenaline and see what happens. Instead of being, I'm going to be touch and feel on both sides of the plate. Start attacking people. Yep. Just attack.
Not a good performance from the bullpen tonight. And now let's go back to Cincinnati and hear from Spencer Turnbull.
Tom said you were going to maybe go out there for the 6th and the delay. The 2 pitching changes kind of took you out of it.
Yeah, I think that was just their decision. I was ready to go back out, but I think they were just trying to take care of me, just play it safe and stuff, and just make sure I'm well protected and everything. And like I said, it was a long sit, and I think they just felt good bringing in Sir there. But yeah, I was ready to go back out.
thought maybe the fifth inning might have been your best inning. How'd you feel as the outing went along?
I felt all right. Had a little bit of issue finding some fastball command. The mound is really flat. I even said something to the umpire. I feel like it was messing with a lot of our guys the last couple of days. It's like, I feel like it's below regulation. And just kind of made things really weird. Kind of trying to figure out release point, especially with my fastball. Like I said, it didn't really affect my other pitches as much. Like breaking balls were fine. But I did feel like it affected fastball a lot. But yeah, I felt pretty good. Like I said, I was a little threw too many pitches. Got behind in the count more than I wanted to, but I felt like I was able to work my way out of it.
And you looked pretty pissed off in the dugout, like after the fourth inning, I think?
Yeah, I was pissed at the home run I gave up. Not necessarily that I gave up a home run, more that just the pitch that I threw and the way I threw it. It was just a really poorly executed pitch. It was a lazy pitch. I just didn't have my right focus and mentality on that pitch. It was like a 102 seamer that I just kind of lazily put in there. Wasn't really. Kind of just went on autopilot for a second. I just wasn't thinking as sharply as I should have been. And I was more mad at myself for that than that effect I gave up a hit. Because I gave up the hit to De La Cruz right after that. I wasn't as mad about that one. It was just like a really bad mindset and just poorly executed. And it was just way too hittable pitch. I wasn't. Just wasn't good.
I mean, that said, like through 5 starts, I think it's like a 133 RA. It's a lot of strikeouts, not a lot of walks. How do you feel about these 5 starts you've made for the Phillies?
I mean, as a whole, I feel really good. Like I said, I wasn't super happy with the Pirates start, but again, it was another weird day. Some of the elements just kind of making me a little wild. Trying to learn how to battle that and get a feel for the wind and stuff on that day. And then tonight, like I said, kind of the command was a little not up to my standard, but I felt like my off speed was really good. I was able to put some really good changeups there in the 5th inning. Probably should have brought it out a little earlier in the game, but it was kind of off the last couple of weeks, and it was really good tonight. I just hindsight 2020, obviously, but maybe if I had thrown some more earlier in the game, I might have been able to save the pitch count a little bit. But like I said, I'm happy with how I threw per se, but I'm not happy with only going 5. Like I want to go deeper in the games every time out. Like I said, and I had more pitches on my pitch count. I could have gone back out, but I think just situation called for it, whatever else. But I think it would have been an easier decision if I was at 70 pitches instead of 89. So, like I said, just being more efficient. That's on me.
What do you think is going to happen the next few days for you?
Try not to worry about it. Just focus on staying in my routine, and getting ready for my next start, and so all the other stuff is just noise. I'll deal with it however it comes.
I was going to ask you, I mean, based off your performance today, it didn't seem like it was something that was on your mind or rattled you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, all that stuff's out of my control. Obviously, I'm aware of things, but like I said, I'm trying to go out there and if they want me to start, I'm going to start and give my team the best chance I can to win. And if things change. But hopefully I pitch well enough to give myself a chance to stay in that conversation. I know there's other factors involved and stuff like that, but they haven't said anything to me yet, so I'm kind of just ready to get ready for my next start, hopefully, and we'll see how it goes.
Did you ever pitch here before?
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I pitched here COVID season, 2020.
Was the mound flat then too?
I don't remember it bothering me.
Okay, because 20 years ago that was a complaint when they first opened the place that the mound was flat.
I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look. I remember. Only thing I remember pitching those games was facing Casty. He was on the team then, so I remember striking him out a couple of times with some sliders. But I don't remember how I felt about the mound then. I just know that it was affecting me tonight, and I'd heard of some other guys making some comments about it, and it was definitely very flat. So,
if they come to you and say, "We're putting you in the bullpen," this is why. Like, how do you kind of take that? I mean, given how you pitched.
I'm not sure if kind of cross that bridge when we get to it. Like I said, I'll do whatever they tell me. Like I said, it's not my decision, but whatever is going to give the team the best chance to win is what I want to do. So if they see that going a different direction, then it's fine. I've enjoyed my 5 starts so far, and I feel great, feel strong, feel healthy. I'm not worried about the innings limit or anything like that. Like I said, I've done it before. Other factors kept me from throwing a lot of innings over the last couple of years, like the Tommy John surgery, obviously, but in the years before that, it was a short season with COVID, and the year before that, I went down with TJ. So it was like, as far as body of workload, I feel like my body can handle it. I think an elbow injury is kind of little bit of a different thing as far as just innings limits and stuff. I think that's it's a different factor. But as far as like how my body feels, and like I said, I feel like I'm as fresh as I've felt in the first 2 months of the season. So as I felt in a long time. So I'm personally not concerned about that. But obviously I understand a lot of the science and everything goes into it. So
in a weird way, is it kind of.
Well, Spencer Turnbull, great accountability there, and that sounds like a guy who wants to continue to be the starter there.
Yeah, that sounds like the guy that's not going to accept going to the bullpen right now. And good for him. Good for him, because he's throwing the ball extremely well. He has nothing to prove. He's gone out there to a 1.23 ERA in 5 starts. That to me would be extremely difficult to take out of the starting rotation, and I think he's letting that be known. He wants everybody to know that I'm not on a pitch limit. I'm not on an innings limit. No. Blah, 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 blah. He is pushing for himself to stay in that rotation, no doubt in my mind.
I like it, as he should be. The Phillies, they lose this one to the Cincinnati Reds. They will try to split the series tomorrow. A 1 o'clock game means a 12:30 Phillies pregame live. We'll see you then, and we'll see if the Phillies can bounce back after a disappointing performance tonight.